So this webinar is going to be all about the ultimate guide to LinkedIn groups and what you should know about joining LinkedIn groups and what you should know when you're owning a LinkedIn group. Following on from our webinar last week on pimping your LinkedIn profile for 2014, you should know quite a number of the tricks with regards to promoting your profile, making sure that you have a photograph, a really great headline, and a great profile when people come back to your profile from a LinkedIn group. It should be all singing and all dancing. So this is the groups part and the engagement part. I suppose to start off with, who am I? My name is Holly Fawcett. I'm the Digital Marketing Manager here at Social Talent. You can find me on Twitter at Social Talent or at Holly Fawcett. And of course, I would love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can invite me to connect bit.ly/invite Holly, all one word, and that will get to me straight away. So an outline of what today we are going to learn. We're going to first of all just go over some basics of LinkedIn groups. Then I suppose the power of groups to actually influence people and people within your own network, whether they be job seekers, potential clients, or just general other members of LinkedIn. We're going to talk about finding other great LinkedIn groups, becoming a great group member, and then becoming a great group owner as well. So the group basics, some quick stats for you. There's over 2 million groups created on LinkedIn. That's a huge number. It's an average of 100 people per LinkedIn group. There are an average, I suppose, people join an average of 7 groups each, and there's a max, you can only join up to 50 groups in total. That's it. That's all you're able to join at any one time. The real key and top perk for being a LinkedIn group member is that you can message group members for free. You don't have to be spending emails, they don't have to be directly connected to you. You can send them a private message because you're members of a fellow group. So that's why a lot of people actually use LinkedIn group, is simply for the messaging feature. And if you are a recruiter, you should instantly be on groups because it enables those, particularly who are job seeking, to message you to say, hey, I'm interested in that job that you have posted. So as an influencer, some of you may remember back from your psychology days, or if you're doing persuasion and conversion when it comes to recruiting, some key factors to influence. And Cialdini's 6 key factors for influence. The first one was reciprocity. So, if I give you something, you're almost obliged to give me something back. The second was commitment and consistency. So if we commit to something, we're generally going to follow through on it. The third was social proof. That's why the big groups on LinkedIn tend to just get bigger, because we see that a lot of people like something, and so we're just going to continue following the herd. The fourth is liking. If we generally like the person, we're going to continue hearing their messages and actually feel influenced by them. The fifth is authority. If we feel that somebody has an authoritative presence or really knows their stuff, we're just going to go with what they say. And the sixth was scarcity. If something feels like it's not going to be there tomorrow, we're instantly influenced to go and grab that, whether it's a promotion, a buy one get one free today only, etc. So LinkedIn groups really covers maybe 6 of those key factors for influence. The first being reciprocity, social proof, liking, and authority. And we can get that particular kinds of influence from joining LinkedIn groups and becoming a really great and active LinkedIn group member and LinkedIn group owner. First of all, I suppose you need to find top groups. We can do this by doing 2 things. The first is actually just searching in LinkedIn, and the second is to do an X-ray search of LinkedIn to find specific groups that we might be after. So I'm just going to go onto LinkedIn here and show you exactly what I mean by this. So to be a member of LinkedIn groups, or to find different kinds of LinkedIn groups, we can use the top search bar at the very, very top of my screen here. I'm just going to change what I'm searching for to groups. And I want to find maybe engineering groups, because I'm an engineering recruiter. So I type in the word engineering, and LinkedIn will come up with its own set of results with regards to engineering groups on LinkedIn. People who are engineers and people who are engineering recruiters. And no surprise, the kind of top ones that come up are all to do with engineering jobs and engineering careers. But this kind of result, I suppose, it's not, we can't factor in, I want only to see groups that have a minimum of 100,000 members, or I only want to see very, very active groups. There's no filtering of any kind, unfortunately, within LinkedIn searches for groups, the same for companies, etc. But we can very quickly see here that the quick synopsis here, we can see why engineering jobs worldwide is a very active group. The same with engineering career opportunities, again, a very active group. There were 923 discussions this month. There's 145,000 members. It's absolutely huge. So if I join this group, I potentially have messaging access and access to influence 146,000 people, which is absolutely huge. If I wanted to just simply click into engineering career opportunities, I could simply click the word join. I will be then asked, it's a private group, but this one in particular. A lot of groups on LinkedIn are private. You have to be approved to join. But I can join the group and apply to be a member because I'm an engineering recruiter or because I'm an engineer, etc. Whatever your reasons are for joining. If I click on the little I button, I should be able to see quick overview, who's the group owner, and some group statistics. The second way to look at finding LinkedIn groups, if you want to go in a very, very targeted fashion, is to use an X-ray search. And by this, you should know from our training, if you're a training member of ours, that you should be using your site command and you're looking for site linkedin.com/groups. Keywords that we're going to look out for are words about this group, and we're going to look for, say, in title engineer or in title engineer or in title engineers, etc. And we're looking for at least 100,000 members. I want large groups in this regard. So when I perform this search, it comes up with 4 groups on LinkedIn. These are the only groups on LinkedIn which have over 100,000 members, which are engineering groups. So I can look at these top groups, and I want to join these ones because these ones are the most relevant to my jobs or to factor in different kinds of influence. So I suppose when you're finding top groups, what are you looking for, first of all? I suppose activity level would be the top thing. So we saw in our LinkedIn search results that we saw very active or inactive, etc. If you're looking for very, very active groups, that doesn't take into account, people just posting on lots and lots of discussions, but there aren't any comments happening within that group. We want to see that there are actual discussions going on. It isn't just a monologue happening where people just post a discussion and nothing else happens in it at all. We want to see that it contains the right people. So yes, it might be full of people who say that they're, they've engineer on their profile, but is it because they're all engineering recruiters, or are they actually engineers? Or for any other factor or for any other industry as well. Also see, well, if I join this group, can I actually go and add value to this group? Maybe joining a group with 100,000 members is a bit too much, particularly at the beginning. Maybe you want to join a group which has maybe in and around the 1,000 members mark, because you can influence a smaller number of people at first than you can a very, very large number of people. So as we said, when we see the little I within any group, we can see all of the group statistics. And clicking on group stats, we can see a quick summary of what those groups have, how many members they have, how many comments were on last week. And as we can see, this is quite a large group here, 2,156 members. A lot of them are managers or senior level people, particularly owners as well. There aren't a lot of entry level people within this group, which means that it's quite a large and high level group. However, it wasn't a very active group because there were only 8 comments last week. That isn't a huge amount going on. So perhaps this isn't the most active group. People aren't coming back and actually joining in the discussion, which is what you want. You want to see groups that are actually going to feed into your own website, whether it be for your blogs or for salary surveys, etc. I suppose being part of a great group member, we want you to start discussions within the group, and your aim is to become a top contributor for the group. You get awarded this. LinkedIn will actually send you a little notification to say, congratulations, you've become a top contributor for this group. That is your goal all the time. In order to get there, you need to stoke the fire and get people commenting, get them discussing, debating on your topic. If people go, really love that post, ask them why. But don't just post the discussion and the title of the actual blog post you're referring to or the article that you've referred them to. Actually ask them a question. So why do you think this is important for our industry? What other factors can you see being an influence in 2014, etc.? That's what your goal is at the end of the day. And I suppose the perk of being a great group member is that your profile is viewed 4 times more when you post popular discussions within a group. There's a really clear link between posting discussions in groups and the number of people who actually come and view your profile. If you're a job seeker or a recruiter, you really want people to come to you and see you as an authority, see you as an influencer. So I suppose another thing that you could do when you're posting discussions is that you can also post open jobs to group as well, but only if they're allowed. There is that caveat. Some groups will not have any jobs discussions on them whatsoever, and some groups will. They'll openly encourage you to place your jobs with them. And of course, if you are a LinkedIn recruiter, the professional services or the group or corporate services account, you can simply place an ad for your jobs within groups. You can literally target specific groups. So I know if I'm, for example, a hedge fund recruiter and I want to only target groups which have hedge fund managers in them, well, I'm going to look for groups which have hedge fund in their title and have a lot of hedge fund managers within, or hedge fund accountants, for example, within that actual group. So when I target them with an ad, it actually gets through to the right people. Beware of SWAM. This is site-wide auto-moderation. If you post discussions which the moderator or the manager of the group deems to be spammy, there's a reason why SWAM sounds so like spam. If they sound a bit spammy, for example, you've posted groups or jobs to groups which don't allow jobs discussions whatsoever, or you're continually posting pretty much relentless dribble into a group, they're not going to like that. So you need to be posting stuff that is really of value to the group members. If your account has been swammed or site-wide auto-moderation, it means that you've been marked for moderation by just one group manager. Sad face. All of your future discussions in this regard then need to be approved in every single group you're a member of. So if you're a member of 50 groups, one group manager has marked you for moderation, it marks you for moderation across every single group. The only way to get out of this is to go into the group settings and see who is the manager and the owner of this group. Send them a message going, hi, I might have been marked for moderation in your group. I'd really love to be taken off this particular setting, whatever, or it's against my. I promise not to post anything that's against the rules, etc. And get yourself unswammed, because it's quite annoying when you have to be moderator for everything. In order then to be a great group owner, so there's some things about being a group owner. You can own up to 10 parent groups, that's the main groups. And within each of those groups, then you can have 20 subgroups, but you can own up to 20 subgroups. And you can be a moderator for 50 groups. An owner and a manager versus a moderator. A manager can do pretty much anything within a group. A moderator can only really just moderate comments and discussions. Tasks then, as a manager, first of all, is create a hero image. And a hero image is the big image at the very top of your group, which kind of calls to people as to what this group is and why you should join it. There should be a CTA, a call to action within that group. This group is for the best engineers in the world or the best recruiters in the world. Join us now. You should create group rules. These group rules should be quite clear, quite explicit, and people should be able to refer to them at any time. So for example, if you don't want people to promote certain blogs or you don't want people to promote jobs, you should state so in your group rules so that if you moderate somebody, you can simply refer them back to the rules and go, well, you broke the rules, end of story. And you should also set up email templates. There is a place within your group manager settings for templates which you can set up for when people request to join the group and when they finally get approved to join the group. And if they don't get approved to join the group, an email gets sent to them automatically to say, hey, welcome, you've joined. We're really looking forward to your discussions and joining in the debate, etc., etc. Or you haven't been approved to join this group at this time because maybe it's because we don't allow recruiters to join this group, or you don't seem to be an engineer, etc. Being a great group owner as well, a really great perk of being a group owner is that you can send an email announcement every week to your group members. Every single manager has the option to send one group announcement per week. So if you have 7 group managers or 7 group moderators, you can send 7 announcements per week. You don't want to be sending announcements every single day. You want them to be quite seldom, quite few and far between, because you don't want people to get lethargic and just ignoring your emails. But these group announcement emails, they're ideal for sending job announcements or discussions of the week, etc. In fact, one of the group emails that I really look forward to every single week is the main recruiters group within LinkedIn, because they send me a group LinkedIn message every single week with, here are the top discussions this week, and we really recommend that you read these blogs, etc. It's my daily digest, or sorry, my weekly digest. So as well as being able to send a group announcement as a group owner, just as being a group member as well, you can send, as we said, you can send messages to every member in that group because you are simply a fellow group member. So I'm going to show you how to do that through some URL tricks and some other ways within LinkedIn. So here I'm just on, I'm on an open compose page within my inbox. I've just decided to compose a new message. And if I see up in the URL, all I need to do is add the person's group ID number, or sorry, their member ID number. I'm just going to type in their member ID. And instantly my message is populated here with Kira's name, and I can then send Kira a message on LinkedIn because I'm a fellow group member of hers. I can actually send a message to a huge number of people, up to 50 in fact, within the same URL. So I simply just add a comma, there's no space, and I'm going to add my next group fellow group member using their member ID number. So I can also see here that Michael is now added to my list as well, who I'm actually going to send this message to. Now, I don't recommend that you send bulk messages to people who are fellow group members of yours, particularly if it's to do with a job or anything like that at all. You may have searched out the group and found, oh, all these people would be ideal for my job, and I'm going to send them all one big message which says the same thing and save myself time. Please don't do that. It's really annoying because you can't customize that message. You can't say, hi, Michael, or you can't say, hi, Kerry. You can't do that at all. You can only say, hi, everybody, or hi, comma, and that's it. You can't personalize where they worked, etc., etc. In fact, our good friend Matt Charney, who's one of our trainers on our Black Belt course, and also the managing editor of the recruitingblogs.com, wrote a really good blog last week on people who are still using this group ID function, and bulk messaging group members are simply idiots. And the now reduced functionality of being able to message group members if you're a LinkedIn recruiter on the recruiter product is only simply going to affect idiots. And I must say I do agree with his sentiments. So that's really easy way to send messages to fellow LinkedIn members is simply by using their their member ID number. There's a couple of different ways then to search LinkedIn groups to be able to find potential candidates, potential recruiters, potential employers, potential anything, I suppose, potential people to hook up with, link up with on LinkedIn. The first is actually going through the LinkedIn group itself. So if I click into the LinkedIn group onto its homepage and I click onto the number of members that it has, this is a hyperlink which will bring me to the full list of everybody who is a member of this particular group. So here you can see then that you have a search bar that you can then add some keywords to help find a particular person. So say, for example, if you've gone and done an advanced search and you found that actually you're a fellow group member of somebody that could be a really great potential for a job or for a really great connection of yours. If you go into that actual group itself, contrary to popular belief, you can't simply send somebody a message from advanced search results if you know that if you know that you're a fellow group member of theirs. So you can see in here, I've just done a search for an engineer within a particular group that I'm a member of, and I've come up with 2,500 odd results, but none of the options here say that I can send them a message. Even if they're a first degree connection of mine, I can see that if they're first degree I can send them a message, but other than that I can simply only connect with them or get introduced or send them an email. I can't send them an actual message at all. So if I go into Dusan's profile and look down and see, well, what group do we share? And scroll down towards the end of his profile and see what groups he's a member of. And the one that we share is this expat network group. So I click into the expat network and I then get taken to the group homepage, and there I do a search for Deegan's name. So now that I've typed in Dusan is his name, I can see Dusan's activity here, and also it shows me send message. I can't do this from inside search results, I can only do this within the actual group itself. So those are two ways to actually message fellow group members. It's probably the best and most active part of LinkedIn, and the most profitable part for you as being a member of a group is being able to message group members. So when you're going and looking out for groups, look out for groups that will actually you'll be able to add value to, and that will actually give you value back as well, in terms of the membership of this particular group gives you access to exactly the kind of candidates that you're looking for on a daily basis, whether they be engineers or designers or web professionals, etc. So we teach all of this and loads more on our Black Belt in Internet Recruitment training program with our two expert trainers on LinkedIn, with being Stacey Zapar and Lisa Jones, who are complete experts in this field. But of course, we've got loads more of our training as well in our bootcamp open days, which are happening. Our next one is in Manchester in the UK on the 4th, I think, of February. The next one after that will be in Cork in Ireland on the 12th of February, and then after that will be in Dublin on the 12th of March. I'd really hope to see you there, but of course we'll welcome you in our next webinar as well, which is on LinkedIn company pages within the next group of our LinkedIn sessions. It'll be on the same time next week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Delighted to see you there. Thanks a million, you've been a pleasure. Thank you, bye.